Few paintings feel like a riddle you'll never solve. This is one of them. Two boys in dark clothing carry a stretcher through a barren landscape. On it lies an angel, a young girl dressed in white, one wing visible and bloodied, a bandage wrapped across her eyes. She clutches a small bunch of white flowers. The boys don't look at her. The one on the left looks deep in thought, focused on the path ahead. The boy on the right stares out at us with an unfriendly, guarded expression. This is The Wounded Angel, painted by Finnish symbolist Hugo Simberg in 1903. In 2006, it was voted Finland's national painting, beating out works by far more famous artists. Stand in front of it at the Atheneum Art Museum in Helsinki, and you'll understand why. It gets under your skin. Hugo Simberg painted this when he was just 28 years old. He'd been suffering from meningitis, a serious infection of the membranes surrounding the brain and spinal cord. He was being treated at the Deaconess Hospital in Helsinki. The experience of illness, vulnerability, and dependence on others clearly shaped this work. But here's what makes Simberg fascinating. He refused to explain what the painting meant. When people asked, he'd simply suggest they draw their own conclusions. That openness is part of why the painting resonates so deeply. It doesn't tell you what to feel, it lets you bring your own experience to it. The background isn't imaginary. It's Eläintarha Park in Helsinki, with Tuulunlahti Bay visible behind the figures. You can walk that same path today. In Simberg's time, this park was popular with Helsinki's working class. The upper classes preferred a different park in the south of the city, but there's more to the location. In the early 1900s, several charity institutions were located in Eläintarha Park, including a school for blind girls and a home for people with disabilities. The boys in the painting are carrying the angel toward these institutions. It's a detail that adds layers of meaning. Are they bringing her to be healed, or is she there to offer comfort to others who are suffering? The landscape itself is stark. Bare ground, sparse grass, a few scraggly plants. The sky is overcast, that flat grey light that's so common in northern countries. There's nothing idealised or romanticised about it. This is the real world, rendered honestly. She's dressed entirely in white, a simple dress, no decoration. Her visible wing is damaged, stained with blood. The bandage covers her eyes completely. In her hands, she clutches a bunch of snowdrops, small white flowers that bloom in early spring. Snowdrops symbolise healing and rebirth, the first flowers to push through snow and frozen ground. But look at her posture. She's not limp or unconscious. She's holding herself upright, gripping the stretcher poles with determination. Despite her injuries and her blindness, there's dignity in how she carries herself. The choice to make the angel a young girl rather than the traditional adult male angel is significant. She's vulnerable, clearly hurt, yet there's something fierce about her too. She hasn't given up. The two boys are dressed in dark, simple clothing, working class kids, the kind who would have actually been in that park. The boy on the right looks directly out at the viewer, his expression difficult to read. There's something almost confrontational in his gaze, as if challenging us. What are you going to do about this? The boy on the left focuses on the path ahead, his face somber and closed off. Neither boy looks particularly sympathetic. They're doing the work of carrying her, but their expressions suggest obligation more than compassion. Or maybe they're just exhausted. Carrying someone on a stretcher isn't easy. This is one of the painting's most powerful elements. Simberg doesn't sentimentalise the act of helping. These boys aren't depicted as angels themselves. They're just kids doing a difficult job, and their faces show the weight of it. Simberg was part of the Symbolist movement, which rejected straightforward realism in favour of suggestion, mystery, and emotional truth. Symbolist painters believed that visible reality was just the surface of something deeper. So what does this painting mean? Here are some interpretations, though remember, Simberg wanted you to decide. It could be about innocence wounded by experience. The angel represents purity or idealism, damaged by contact with the harsh world. The boys, already hardened by their working class lives, carry this wounded innocence without fully understanding or appreciating it. It could be about Finland itself. In 1903, Finland was a Grand Duchy of the Russian Empire, not yet independent. Many Finns saw their nation as wounded, its spirit damaged but not destroyed, being carried toward an uncertain future. It could be deeply personal, Simberg's own experience of illness, feeling vulnerable and dependent, being carried by others through a difficult time. The blindfolded angel can't see where she's going, just as a sick person can't predict their recovery. Or it could be about compassion and burden. Sometimes helping others is hard, uncomfortable work. It doesn't always feel noble or transcendent. Sometimes it's just putting one foot in front of the other, carrying weight you didn't ask for. The painting works because it refuses simple answers. The mood is melancholic but not hopeless. The angel is wounded but still alive, still holding those flowers. The boys are burdened but still walking. The landscape is bleak but real, rooted in an actual place where real people walked. Simberg understood something crucial. The most powerful images are the ones that leave room for our own stories. He gives us enough detail to anchor the scene. The specific location, the realistic clothing, the careful rendering of the angel's damaged wing, but he doesn't tell us what to conclude. The painting speaks to something universal in human experience. We've all felt wounded at some point. We've all needed to be carried. We've all been the ones doing the carrying, feeling the weight, wondering if we're up to the task. We've all walked through landscapes that felt barren and grey, unsure of where the path was leading. Finland voted this their national painting for good reason. It captures something essential about resilience, about continuing forward despite injury, about the unglamorous reality of care and burden. It's honest in a way that comfort rarely is. When you stand in front of the wounded angel, you're not looking at answers. You're looking at questions rendered beautifully, truthfully, in oil paint. And sometimes, that's exactly what art should be.